Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is gonna be a, I guess story time kind of video. It's basically a video about all of the crazy dreams that I've had and, well, okay. Let's rewind. So, recently I watched, a video by Gabby, and she was talking about like all of her weird dreams that she has. And I may not be like a psychic or like a medium or anything, and my dreams might not mean anything, but like I've had some crazy dreams. So I found my old dream journal, and I was flipping through and I was realizing how messed up of a kid that I was. So these are pretty much my older dreams, and then I have a lot of them on my phone as well. So I think we should like start from the very beginning with my old dreams, and I'll go ahead and read you them, and then like I might have to elaborate on them because it doesn't really make sense. So I figured out how to lucid dream, but like I didn't realize that I could do it when I was younger. Like it was a thing that I developed like later in age, and most of these turned out to be like terrifying nightmares. And now that like I'm a grown-up, I realize that like I could have stopped them, because like when my dreams started to turn scary, I just realized I'm like, this isn't real, like just stop. I don't know how to talk about it. Like, I don't know, it's weird. Just like watch videos on lucid dreaming and you'll understand. Like you can do stuff that like whatever you want in there. You just have to realize that you're dreaming, and like you can do anything. So, okay, anyway. This one's called The Duck-Headed Stalker. I was in elementary school and I got off the bus, and in the mob of kids there was a boy with an animated duck head. Through school, the duck boy followed me and locked me in a locker. I screamed, but no one could hear me. And that's it. Okay. I actually remember having this dream. If you have ever heard of the game, like, what is it called? I think it's like Sims Animals. And like in the game, there was like a duck, and when you would click on it, it had like a picture of the actual duck, and then like I remember that like duck head was on this boy, and he was like tormenting me. I don't know why, but like, yeah. Okay, next story. This one's pretty messed up. It's called The Time My Brother Almost Killed Me. When I woke up, no one was in the house, so I walked outside to see my brother, who was sitting on a branch in the big maple tree in our front yard. I yelled at him, and I yelled his name. I guess he didn't hear me, so I started walking closer. Then his whole head turned around and looked at me, but he had no eyes at all. All I could see were white. They were just white eyes. Okay. So I started to run as fast as I could. I turned around and he was right behind me. All of a sudden I was flying, and I turned around and he was flying across with a crossbow in his hand. He shoots me and I start falling straight to the ground, going in a spiral. Right before I hit the ground, I wake up. Okay, that's creepy. Next story. Oh yeah, with these, like I also drew pictures. So this is the one that I drew with my brother. I guess that's him with no eyes. So, didn't know how to spell woke. So, okay, this one. The people with no faces. Can you see that? There you go. People with no faces. You know when you're a kid and you fall asleep to get out of, so you don't have to get out of the car or be put in? Well, I was fake sleeping, and someone pulled me out of bed and put me in the car after they started the car. I opened my eyes and leaned in between the two front seats. I looked, and there were two people who I thought were my parents, but they had no faces, and it was just black. I asked, "Where are we going?" No answer. I opened the backseat door and hopped out of the car. I went inside, climbed into bed, and went back to sleep. I remember this dream, like, so vividly, too. I remember, like, them carrying me, and I literally thought it was my mom. And I remember being put in the car, and I remember they buckled my seatbelt. And this is, like, when you're a kid, and, like, you have, like, a booster seat or something, so it's, like, basically, like, a normal seatbelt. And I remember driving down our driveway, and I remember unbuckling, and I'm like, so where are we going? And like I hopped in between the two seats, put my elbows in the two front seats, and I looked, and I thought it was gonna be my dad driving, and it was just like this person who was like dressed in normal day clothes, but his face was like totally black. And like after that, I'm like, I just put my thing back, and I just like opened the door. I didn't even run, like I just walked back to my house and climbed back into bed. I don't know why I was so calm. Okay, so me editing this now, like, basically realizes that, like, this is when I first, like, started realizing that, like, dreams aren't real, and that, like, I can just, like, control when I want to leave a dream, because when I remember having this dream, and I remember being like, I don't want this to turn into a nightmare, so I'm just gonna go back to bed, and I'm gonna wake up, and it's not gonna be a dream anymore. If that happened to me in real life, I would be like, I'd be terrified. So yeah, okay, next story. My chorus teacher's friends. I think I started to draw a picture, but like, I stopped, I guess. My chorus teacher, me and my friend, were at his house, and we were sitting in a sandbox uncomfortably when my chorus teacher got angry and yelled, "Mommy!" And his 70-year-old mother came out of the house with a shotgun. My chorus teacher then said, "They aren't playing with me." The lady pointed the gun at us and said, my chorus teacher's first name, "Come inside for a second and get our guests something to eat." Me and my friend ran for it. This is so weird. I don't remember this dream at all. We hopped in a car that was waiting for us. We looked outside the windows to see a ton of black figures chasing the car. They caught up with us and attached themselves to the car, blanketing the car in darkness. They started to bang on the windows, and then we started to scream. "I love you," I said to my friend, and she said it back. As soon as the glass broke, I woke up. That was creepy. I don't remember that one at all. Like, at all. That's creepy. Okay. Jaws in the pool. That's my shark, I guess. I'm an amazing artist. So me and my cousin were at the Jersey pool, and we woke up in the deep, and we were in the deep end, trying to dive all the way to the bottom, and when I came up, I seen that she was being dragged away by a huge great white shark. The pool suddenly got larger, and it was a game of survival. The shark brought her to the bottom of the pool, where I could not go. I thought it was over, and I had lost my cousin. Then something truly magical happened. I turned into a mermaid with a tail and everything. I dove down right before I could grab her. The shark ate her whole, and I woke up in tears. I remember this dream. Holy cow. I literally actually woke up in tears. Okay, so when it said like the Jersey pool, it's basically like a pool that we go to in New Jersey at someone's house. So that's what that meant. The field trip. Okay, this is the one that I remember. Okay, so this happened. I had this dream when I was in like freshman year of high school. So this is like a pretty recent one. Okay, so my high school, York Tech, and York Tech went to the water park for our first day of school. Okay, so basically 2 high schools combined, and we all went to York Tech, or we all went to like some random water park, and we all had a buddy. So my buddy was my dear friend Bailey Ryan, and she we were like talking and everything, and she's like, hey, you want to go on this gigantic water slide? I'm like, yeah, totally. So this slide was like combined with like you know, like the tubes that you sit in for like the lazy river kind of thing. Basically it was like a figure 8 thing, and one person was sitting one and one person was sitting the other, and like you'd go down together. So everyone was getting handed those because everyone had a buddy. They ran out, so they each gave us our own little inner tube, and we had to like hold each other's, like, I don't know what they're called, like handles, I guess, to like not separate. So this water tube, you went down like, so one of us had to sit here and one of us sat like behind it, and we went down like this because it was like a whole enclosed tube, and then like you went out, and then there was this funnel, and then you come out of the funnel and you land on this gigantic flat shelf, and off of the shelf is like a waterfall, but it's like, I don't know, it's probably like that steep, so it's just like that, and then you land in this gigantic wave pool at the bottom. So as we're up there, Bailey is like, hey, my inner tube popped, let me go get another one. So I'm waiting there for her, and then I find my cousins, and they're just like, hey, let's all go down together. And I'm just like, okay, totally forgetting Bailey. And Bailey's like, never mind, I'll meet you down there. So we all like hold our inner tubes together, and we all go down this thing, and we all land in this gigantic wave pool. And this, I think it was like an enclosed water park, because I remember them having like TVs like set up around, and basically like on the TVs it just said like, emergency, great white shark was loose, like beware, everyone get out of the water, or like everyone stay with your buddy and stuff. And I remember me and my cousin, me and her were just like, hey, they had this gigantic sunken ship at the bottom of this wave pool, and the wave pool was like super duper 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 deep. It was like really deep. So they all gave us like scuba gear as we turned in our scuba gear as we turned in our inflatable things, our inner tubes, and we put it on, and we dived down to the bottom to this what's it called, to this sunken ship, and we were like looking through it, and you go inside of it, and then there's this tube that like you swim up to, and then you swim down, and you can get out of the tube, and it's totally dry like inside of it. It's totally weird. And there's like this pond, or like this little pool of water inside, and that's where the great white shark was. So I remember me and her were like, oh my god, we need to get out of here. But like as they called the emergency drill, they shut down the tube so we couldn't get out. And I just remember us trying to swim out, because I remember there was like a hatch at the bottom of the pool, and you had to swim past the shark down to the bottom of the pool, and then get out of like the bottom of the ship, and then swim all the way up. And I remember we were trying to do that, and then my cousin got eaten by a shark again, and then I woke up. That looks like the end of this book, so I'm going to read some newer ones that I have on my phone. Okay, so first one I'm going to tell you about is the one that I literally had last night, and this one, it was so weird. Okay, so I've had multiple dreams of like having earthquakes and like having my house like split in two, or like hurricanes and tornadoes and like tsunamis in my house. So I wasn't really weirded out by this dream because like I have a lot of them. And sometimes I decide just to like see like what my dream does and like how it takes me. So I don't normally like lucid dream that much. I just let my dream do what it wants, because I'm like, hey, this could be cool. So, okay, last night I remember the dream And my dad was a firefighter for some reason, and he brought me on the job the day before. And so he brings me on the job, and he's like, yeah, look, this is how we put out fire. He like basically puts me through training. And then the next day happens, and there's an earthquake. And this earthquake was like the biggest magnitude. And I remember we were in my house, the ones that I am like right now. And I remember the road like out here like split, and there was like a gigantic gas line or something, and the whole road like turned into like flames, and like everyone's houses were like split up. So we were like called on emergency, and we had to go to some other house. And I remember driving down the road, and like the fire engine, I don't know why the fire engine was parked at our house, but it was. And I remember driving down this road, and I remember listening to the radio, and my dad was talking, but I was listening to the radio instead of him. And I remember hearing there was a 6-year-old girl, dark brown hair and like blue eyes or something, and she was like missing. And I remember like thinking about that the whole entire time I was like going to this house. And when we got to this house, it turned out to be like an exact replica of my house on the outside, but like as soon as we got inside, it was totally different. So we burst inside because the house is split. Like, okay, so our house is like long ways, right? And then it has like a short ways. So it's more long, and it's split like right down the middle of this long way. So we just like run inside, and he puts on like my oxygen tank, he puts on like my helmet and everything, and he's like, okay, go try and find as many people as you can and get them out. That's your job. And I'm like, okay, I got it. So I run inside, I find this dog that's like tied up, and I'm just like, okay, I let it go, and I found this person. I'm like, please take this dog and run as far away as you can. And I remember everyone was headed to the police station. I have no idea why, but everyone was headed to the police station. It was like the safest spot at the time. And I'm just like, head to the police station, and like everyone knew where it was. I'm like, in real life, I don't even know where the police station is. Like, oh well. As soon as that guy left, like the entrance that we like went into like burst into flames, so no one could get around it. And I remember just like looking for people, constantly looking for people. And I found this girl, and she was like huddled up. She had a blanket over her. She was huddled up in the corner, like behind this dollhouse. And I remember like the entrance to get into that room, like the doorway was like on fire, but like it wasn't like super duper high, because like I could see her through it. It was probably like 2 feet high. And I'm like, you have to jump over the fire and I'll catch you. So finally she like unwraps the blanket, and she just jumps, and she jumps like this, like with her arms out. And I grab her under the arms, and I swing her around, and the whole doorway just collapses. And I'm just like, holy cow. So I'm like carrying this girl, and I'm trying to get the way out, because the only way out is like through the front door. And I remember carrying her, and I have this heavy suit on, I have this girl, and I'm just running, and I'm trying to get out. And as I'm getting out, I'm finding more people, and I'm helping them, and I'm throwing them out the door. I'm just like, come on, keep going, keep going, keep going. And finally I open the door, and I get out into like the lawn, and the tree is like uprooted, and it's like fell over, because like I guess like the earthquake like split, but it wasn't really split, it was just around the tree. And then I remember seeing someone flying a kite behind one of the biggest pine trees in my yard. And I'm yelling at the top of my lungs. I'm like, hey, stop, like you need to get out of here. And I remember just like, I'm still carrying the girl. She's like on my back now. And I run over to this kite, and there's this girl who I know from school who doesn't like me. And I run over there, and she has earbuds in, and she's just flying this kite. And I'm just like, listen, you need to get out of here. Like, it's not safe. And she's like, why? I'm just like, listen to me, you need to get out of here. Like, you need to head to the police station. And she's like, I don't know where the police station is. And I didn't know where the police station was. So we decided to steal one of the cars in the driveway and drive on this road. And I put in the GPS thing on my phone to police station. And as we were going to the police station, like another earthquake hit. And it was like crazy because as we were driving on a highway. I don't remember why, but we were driving on a highway. And we were driving and the road in front of us splits and goes up so far. And we had to stop. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. So there's this girl who I'm pretty sure is this missing girl. And then all of a sudden I hear this walkie-talkie thing. And they're like, number 17, where are you? And it's like, I answered, I'm like, I found the missing girl. I'm trying to get to the police station. And they're like, we lost the house. And then I think it was just static, and then I woke up. It was so weird though. I remember like the field in front of our house had like random like yellow flowers, like daylilies or something all around it. But like it was spread out. It was so weird. Okay, so that's all the dreams that I'm going to tell you about today. I've had a lot more, and I've had some really, really, really scary like sleep paralysis kind of dreams. So if you want to hear more or those, just like go ahead, leave a comment down below. Basically, yeah, just let me know what kind of video you guys want next, because I'm adventuring into these kind of sit down videos instead of like vlogging every day. So yeah, go ahead and give this video a like, comment what video you want down below, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time.